Right, the first thing I want to mention is my die cutting machine. This is my Big Shot Plus. It's a massive A4 die cutting machine. It does absolutely everything I need, but it's big and heavy, and I mean heavy. So, but I don't need any other die machine apart from this one, but I do have this, which is my Big Shot Fold Away, which I managed to get on eBay. And this is brilliant because it tucks away nicely, as you can see. The handle tucks away there. The front and the back pull down like that, and it's really convenient. But for the really tiny dies, this is my die cutting machine of choice, my little craft buddy. It's so cute and it is so handy, and it is perfect for keeping next to me on my desk, just for when I need to cut out something small. It's really, really handy. I just got it from Temu, and it's lasted really well. I've had it, I don't know how long I've had it. I've had it quite a while, and it's been great. So no, I do not need all of these die cutting machines, but yes, I want them because I like them. Right, something else I love but do not need are the colour cubes from Sarah Renee Clark. I have already made a video about these, which I will link up there and in my video description. They're really great. They sort of generate little colour palettes for your art or for your projects like card making or your colour and die cuts or whatever you want. They're really good and they're numbered. So you can use an online random number generator just to pick one if you don't want to go through it yourself. There is an online colour palette generator which I also made a video about, which I will link as well in the description. But these are just amazing. I mean, sometimes there's nothing like having something tangible, something you can hold in your hand. And these are, in my opinion, very worth it. I think they're really just some beautiful colour palettes in here. So, do I need them? No. Do I love them? Yes. Right. Now what about all of these? I couldn't fit on my Sizzix one, but I have a massive Sizzix paper trimmer and scoring board, which does basically everything you need. But I like all of these for different reasons. This is absolutely brilliant for your precise cuts. If you just need a tiny sliver cutting off for something, or it's just convenient and I can keep it right next to me and I don't need to lug up and down these ones. This one is my favourite because, I don't know if you can see it there. There are quite a few like these. You can do a search on Amazon and you'll come, because it has a cutting blade and a scoring blade in one. If you can see there. So this does everything. It cuts and it scores, and you can open it out right up to 17 inches. So this, I think, yeah, like I said, this is my favourite. If I had to give up all of them and just keep one, it would probably be this one. But I do have a video again about different paper trimmers, and this one I use for cutting chipboard, and it's also fantastic for cutting really, really thin slivers because the blade is just amazing. So although I say I do use it for cutting chipboard, I don't need it for cutting chipboard because there are many different ways to cut chipboard, but I do love it. And no, I don't need it. I don't need all of my trimmers. I only really need one, but I love them and I am keeping them. So the next items on the list are paper punches. This is only a handful of the paper punches I have. I have a massive stack of them, especially the Stampin' Up ones, because they are so handy. Really, really handy. This is like a big 2 3/8. Oh, here we go with my eighths again. 2 3/8 circle punch. And this one's brilliant for cutting like card for sentiments and stuff like that. And this one's great just for cutting out flowers very quickly if you just want to add some to a card or another project. But like I say, I have a ton more of Stampin' Up punches. I just think they're fantastic. This is a tag punch. Don't need it, but it's very handy. This is kind of another tag punch. You've got your hole punch and it cuts a little, I don't even know what you call that type of hole. And you can cut, oh, this is really dusty because I haven't used it for so long. and you can cut sort of banners and things like that with it. Really good. And of course you've got your corner rounders and your corner punches and things like that. And I have quite a few border punches. This is just one of them. This is also like a corner puncher, but it gives lovely like little hearts in each corner and rounds the corner as well. That's really nice. And these are amazing for kids projects or for little bits of confetti. If you want to make shaker cards, you can cut out confetti in different coloured cardstock to add to your shaker cards. So I definitely do not need all of these paper punches, but yes, I do love them. Although I'm not sure if I'm going to keep all of them, because I am having a large clearance sale on my website at the moment. I'm trying to get rid of a load of stock because I've been buying some new things lately, and my craft room's just filling up with goodness knows what. So if you want to have a look on my website to see the clearance section, I will leave a link to that in the description, and there are some really, really good bargains on there because I just want to get rid of stuff. Right, on to the next one. Stamping platforms. Do you need stamping platforms? No. Well, I don't. I don't need stamping platforms, but they make things so much easier. I've got this one for my big stamps and my big templates just to hold them down. My Sizzix one, that was the first one I ever bought, and it's been great. I've used it loads. This one I would say is my favourite. It's the Tim Holtz, Tonic Studios Tim Holtz one. This is my all-time favourite. I love it. I really love it. And what I do with all my stamping platforms is I always put, if I can get that up, I always put sticky sheet on it. This is from Sizzix as well. I always put a sticky sheet on because sometimes the magnets don't hold the cardstock. Oh heck, I shouldn't have put that together. They don't hold the cardstock as steady as they should. So on all of them I always have a sticky sheet. But to be honest, although that's my favourite, this is the one that I use the most. I got this in a part of a bundle that I bought from eBay. Somebody was selling off a load of crafting items, just a big bundle, obviously having to clear out for next to nothing. And I didn't realise this was in it, and I was so over the moon when it came and I realised what it was. So I use this all of the time. This is the one that gets the most use because it is so handy. All of these little things that I've been buying, the little craft buddy and this, and they're just absolutely fantastic for keeping next to my desk, just so I can reach out and I don't have to lift anything heavy. I mean, these are sort of not so much bulky, but not as convenient as this. So yeah, stamping platforms I don't need, but I do love, and I love all three of these, so I won't be getting rid of any of these ones. And that's not to mention the rotating stamp platforms that I have as well, but that's for another time. Like I say, I don't need them, but I do love them. And I suppose along with that you could place stamping blocks as well. I have a big bundle of these from Stampin' Up. This is the small one, and there's like a really massive one like that. Really, really nice, but you don't need them. I didn't have them for a long time, and I managed. So this I don't know why that's white like that. But this is a funnel tray. Now I don't need this, but I really love it. You can use this for when you put an embossing powder or glitter onto your projects, and it's just less messy because you pour it out of there, whatever's left, back into the container from which it came. So I mean, for the longest time I just used tissue or kitchen roll to catch it, and then, you know, folded it over and poured it into the container with that. But this is it's really great. You know, this is another thing I don't need, but I do love. A funnel tray, very handy. To the next one. Do you really need all of these adhesives? Well, no. No, you really don't. This is more or less the same as that, in that you put it's double-sided, so you put this onto your project and then you can stick something on the top of it. This is really handy. Scotch ATG gun. I do use that when I use my layering guides. That's really handy. That does the same kind of thing, only smaller and much more portable. And this is my glue of choice for the summer, Kalal glue. Where's the bottle? Yeah, here we are. So this is what I like, because for the simple reason it's not water based. it does have a quite toxic smell. So I only use this in the summer when I can have my windows open and when I can be masked up, because it is a very, very strong smell. But I put it into a little, I've got one of these, and I have got, let me find it, a little one with a very fine tip, which have my collal glue in. This is ideal actually for gluing sort of thin pieces of paper together. So for instance, if I sell something on my website and I want to stick a label on the front, I just print it off using printer paper, stick it on with this, and it doesn't show any lumps, it doesn't warp or buckle the paper. It's brilliant, and it's great for sticking your mats and layers together if they're quite thin, because it doesn't show underneath. But I don't use this all year round. I tend to use this. This is my Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive Clear Drying Craft Glue. So I contacted Tonic Studios, and they assured me that it isn't toxic. It's a non-toxic craft glue. This is ideal. I use this more than I use any other, and along with this little glue applicator from My Sweet Petunia, which makes it easier to apply the glue, but you don't need that. There's another thing I like but don't need. But that is my glue of choice. You've got your double-sided sticky tapes here. I've got different sizes in this from scrapbook.com. You don't have to get them from scrapbook.com. Lots of places sell different widths, but I like their quality. There's another one there, was just a generic one, I think, from Temu. And the red tape is absolutely brilliant for using for envelopes, to be honest. So when I make an envelope, I don't do that very often now, but when I do make an envelope, I put it on the flaps, so it's easy to peel off and it becomes self-adhesive then. And this is in the right state because I've had it for so long. Super small glue dots, brilliant for application of small die cuts and ribbons and things to your projects. Oh, and there's something I've forgotten, just a minute. Yeah, of course it is a glue gun. You can't really have a video about adhesives and not mention a hot glue gun. So this is great for sticking down, I don't know, things like fabric and ribbon and stuff like that. But you do have to be careful. And now I don't need this. And I don't need all of these, to be honest. I could probably do most of what I do just using this glue. But all of these different glues come in really handy for different things. So if you're just starting out and you have no idea what to buy, you've seen all these videos and everybody's using all these different products, don't worry about it. Just get yourself some cheap PVA craft glue for now and just use that. You don't have to worry about anything like this until you're sure that crafting's what you want to do, and you can maybe start affording to buy a little bit more. Another thing I used to worry about when I first started crafting was that everybody had all of these inks. Everybody had different inks and I didn't know which ones to buy. So I started off buying sort of cheap dye inks from Temu, which were fine. And to be honest, that's all I really needed, if you know what I mean. But I always like the look of the ink pads from Stampin' Up, and they are really good, mind. They're just some of the best inks that I have are the ones from Stampin' Up. But there are different inks. So you have your water-based ink pads, you have your hybrid inks. That's sort of a mixture between two different things. So these are a mixture between, from what I can gather, yes, dye and pigment inks, which are great because your pigment inks, they don't soak into your paper. Your water-based inks soak into your paper and that's how they dry. Pigment inks sit on the top and they dry using evaporation. For this you have the best of both worlds. So your dye inks, when you are trying to blend them, they do blend really well because they go kind of translucent, but you can't really layer them. Your pigment inks and your distress oxides, you can layer them up really nicely if you allow them to dry, because they do have that bit of pigment in. I love my distress oxides. They are my favourite inks. They're really nice to work with. But I do use like plain water-based ink pads for a lot of work as well. This is another hybrid ink. This is one of my favourites for stamping sentiments and things. This is a Nuvo hybrid ink pad. I did find it difficult to get at one point, but I've managed to find another one. This is Black Shadow. Another pigment ink is the white. White pigment inks can be a bit hit-y-missy. This is the best one that I've found in my experience, but you might think differently. And of course, a water-based ink, pure water-based ink pad is Memento Tuxedo Black. Dries very quickly and it gets a really nice crisp image for your sentiments or whatever else you stamp outlines and things like that. So I don't need sort of all these different kinds of inks. I think when you're starting out, all you really need is a black ink. And if you want to colour your stamps and other projects, you can use things like colouring pencils, like things like that. I mean, it's not ideal. I mean, an ink pad with a blending brush is just, you can't beat it for like colouring some things, and stamping with different colours, you know, it's great. So like I say, I don't need all of these. If I had to give everything up and just keep one, I would keep my Distress Oxides. I mean, I have a lot in the drawer, I haven't got them all out. The same with these. I would keep my Distress Oxides if I was forced to give one up, because like I say, you get the best of both worlds with these. If I had to only choose one black ink, it would be this, because this is a hybrid as well. It's sort of a cross between water and pigment based. But as it is, I love all of them, but definitely don't need all of them. Right, I was going to mention scoring boards for the next one, because I have quite a few of those. While I was looking for something else, I came across this. I'd completely forgotten that I had this. It was in the bottom of a cupboard. This was the very first scoring board and trimmer that I ever bought. And you know, to be honest, I don't even know why I got another one, because this did everything that I needed. Right, it should have a blade in here. I have no idea what happened to the blade, but obviously when you, that's the track where you trim, and when you want to score, you just take this out, turn it over, and then your paper sort of budges up against that. I don't know if you can see that there. It's got like a little lip, and that budges up against that. This opens up to 12 inches, and it's really compact. I stopped using this, I think, when I got my Sizzix one, because you can do like a lot more with that. It has quite a few more features, but this is just, it's just so good. It was really worth the money at the time. I can't remember how much I paid for it. Can't even remember where I got it from. Probably Amazon. But it's good because it has inches, and it has, let's see, it has centimetres as well at the other side. When you open it out, you have your scoring tool, and you pull these out. No, you don't. You push them in. It makes it more solid, so it's not shaking about when you use it. So I think if you're just starting out and you can afford something like this, I mean, this is great. So honestly, I'm looking at it thinking, should I sell it? But you know, I can't bring myself to. I think I'll just keep it. So as well as this and my Sizzix trimmer and scoreboard, and my Creative Craft Products trimmer and scoreboard, and this one, well, I certainly do not need all of them. But to be honest, this one, again, it's a mini one. This is the one I use the most often. It's small enough that I can keep it, again, next to my desk where I craft. It's on a shelf, and I can just reach up and grab it whenever I need it. This one, like I say, I don't think I can bring myself to get rid of this one, because it just brings back memories. Oh, that's what it is. It's We Are Memory Keepers. It's making me all nostalgic now. It's making me want to get it out and give it another go. But yeah, scoring boards, I don't need all of my scoring boards, but I do like them. So my Sizzix one I do use when I'm making envelopes, because it has like the arm that swings round to 45 degrees, and you can get the measurements for the envelopes on the Sizzix website, and it's got the envelope punch and the corner rounder, and it's even got like a hole punch included as well. There's all sorts you can make with it. This one's brilliant for just cutting and scoring. You know, sometimes that's just literally all you need. And of course there's the mini one there, which I do use quite a bit. I think that's all the scoring boards I have. I'll probably come across more because my memory is absolutely horrendous. But yes, do I need all my scoring boards? No. Certainly don't need this one because I'd forgotten about it, but you know what, I'm still going to keep it. Right, this next one, I have just bought this. It's my stack cutter for making notebooks and things. I've only used it a couple of times, and already I have no idea how I managed without it. It's absolutely amazing. You don't need a stack cutter. It's perfectly viable to cut notebook pages and things just by using a trimmer or scissors, but honestly, it's absolutely amazing, and I can't imagine being without that. I love it already. Okay, this last one may be a tiny bit controversial, but before you start yelling at me, please hear me out. But me personally, this is not going to be the same for everybody, but I do not need stamps and dies. Yep, I know, but as I said, hear me out. So I have, do you know, I've lost count of how many stamp and die sets I have, stamp sets, die sets, nesting dies. I just have too many to mention. Now, why do I say I don't need these? Because everything I can do with a stamp and die set, I can do with my printer and with this. This is my cutting machine, my beloved cutting machine. It's my Silhouette Portrait 3, and although I went through a phase where I barely used it at all, I have started using it along with my printer for cutting out die cuts and sentiments. And the beauty about it is you can still have dimension on your cards and other project, because once they're cut out you can just add them with foam tape, the same as you would with anything else. But yes, this is absolutely amazing. I mean, like I said, this is not going to be the same for everybody. Not everybody has a cutting machine, I do get that, but I do not need my stamps and dies because I have this. And to be honest, that's partly why I am getting rid of so much stuff. I'm getting rid of a lot of stamps and dies in my clearance section. I know I keep plugging it, but I want rid, and I know that you like a bargain, so, you know, pop along there and see if there's anything that you want. I post internationally for most items. So yeah, like I say, a bit controversial. Tell me what you think in your comments. Are there any items that you love but don't need? Please let me know in the comments. I would absolutely love to hear from you, because everybody has different views, different items that they like. So I would love to hear from it. And something else I forgot to mention as well, I'll just quickly show you this. All of these, all of those alcohol markers. I certainly do not need these. I mean, things can be coloured in so many different ways. These are not needed and they can be very expensive to buy, but I love them. I love every single one. I have quite a few different packs, and I've put them all into that little storage thing that I got from Temu. The storage thing isn't the sturdiest. It's not very sturdy at all to put together, but it works brilliantly. Everything fits nicely. And before, I had to sort of find which pack that I wanted to use, hunt it out, bring it over to my desk, then put everything away, and then blah 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 blah. But this way they're all stored together and I can just use whichever ones that I want whenever I like. So yeah, that's something else that I love. All of my alcohol markers, but I certainly don't need them. Right, so I have to tell you now that this is definitely not an exhaustive list. Lots of other things could have gone on this list, but the video would have just gone on forever, because I can't think of anything in my craft room that I really particularly need. I think in fact, I do have a video coming up, a shorter one, about the bare minimum of items that you would need if you wanted to start your own card making business. If you're just starting out and you can't afford to buy all of these fancy things, then I'm going to make a video showing just the bare minimum. I'm not sure if it's going to be the next video, but it's certainly on my list to do in the near future. So like I say, I would welcome your comments, I'd welcome your opinions, and I really appreciate you watching this video to the end. If you've got this far, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye now.